Yo, still bills. What's the deal, man? I just left out Pueblito over here getting me some kind of asada, man. I'm heading back to the crib. I gotta clean, and we eventually gotta get to cooking and start this work week for tomorrow, man. But peep game, let's get into this shit, man. And that is the main event yesterday with Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer, man. That was a damn good fight, bro. I absolutely enjoyed that fight. I loved it, man. And I love how the ladies are putting on for the sport. I love how the ladies are putting on for the sport. What I will say, because eventually women's boxing is going to start holding pay-per-views. They're going to start main eventing from here in America to, abroad, which they already have. But I'm talking about it generating the level of attention that Canelo is getting. You dig? Or somebody of Anthony Joshua's magnitude. Someone along them lines. Eventually it's going to get to that point. So what I would hate to see happen with them is that when it gets to that point, it becomes politics. Now we start talking politics. Now the shit starts getting political. Now you dig a certain dollar amount has to be met for you to even entertain the fight, and it just you did. Oh man, the shit just got to make sense. You dig? It just got to make sense. Which they do that now, but it's on such a small scale that it's not even. It really goes undetected because for the most part they get in there and they do what it is that they got to do. I do not want women's boxing to turn to a political, to a point where they're just complacent with being political. I do not want that, man. I want them to, keep the hunger and the ambition that they have to get on the scale of, and be as recognized and respected as men's boxing. Stay on that trajectory because y'all are gonna get there. Y'all are gonna get there. Another 5 and 6 years of this, we're eventually gonna start seeing women's boxing pay-per-views. Like we got with like we get with MMA. But I like how they're putting it all on the line and they not, just they don't allow politics to dictate whether a fight goes down or not. But onto the fight, man. That was an incredible fight. It was just dope. Natasha Jonas, man, like I'm gonna just come out and say it, bro. I don't think that she won that fight. I honestly don't. I think Michaela Mayer was able to steal to steal a couple of the later rounds down the line, and it took her a minute to get into the. I want to say we're going into about the sixth or seventh round. I think the seventh round I had it three rounds apiece. I had it about 3 rounds apiece, and just this, we need if we're not gonna get 12 tens, 12 tens. If we're not gonna get 12 3-minute rounds from these females, we need to at least get 10 threes. We can at least get 10 3-minute rounds for these women, man, because you dig a whole extra minute can completely separate a whole another minute of work can completely separate the fighters from the other. It was so much back and forth between those two in that fight up until around 8, 9, and 10. I think Michaela Mayer started to really come on in the end. You seen Natasha Jonas start to wither away, and you dig her gas tank started, kind of started depleting, and Michaela Mayer just started really turning on the pressure. She really started pressing the action. She started stepping into them shots a lot more effectively. You dig, the right hand was there. When Natasha Jonas came out, she was bouncy. She was on her toes. She was spinning Michaela off the hooks. You dig, check left hook and spin out. Check left hook, check right hook, spin out. She was, she was really just playing beautiful footwork for the first, the first few rounds in that fight, man. And eventually, she started planting her feet and standing in the fray, and opening up in exchanges, man. It was just a really dope display of boxing, man. The counter punches, she was digging to the body early. Natasha Jonas, she was a lot more. She was a lot sharper in the pocket. She just really showed that, she was really showing like, man, I don't know if Michaela can cut the mustard up here at 147 pounds, bro. I don't know if she can cut it up here at welterweight. We don't know. But as the round started to progress, you started to see Michaela Mayer start to turn it on. Like I said, it was back and forth action, man. You started to see Michaela Mayer land them straights. From around about the second round, you started to see him, but Natasha would adjust to him. She'd adjust to him. She'd get around him. You dig? She kept spinning her. You dig? Just, hooking off the turn. She was tapping the body. She did really good body work. Really good body work. But I'm telling you, around about the 7th and the 8th and the 9th and the 10th round, you really started to see Michaela Mayer put the pedal to the metal. I think by that time, She got acclimated to Natasha Jonas's power. It didn't have as much of an effect on her as it normally did as it did in the first round. So it was like, yo, she can't hurt me. So fucking, I'm gonna just take chances. And she started taking chances. She started stepping in. She started doing a lot of smaller things. You did with her feet, placing her feet to the outside of Natasha Jonas's lead foot, launching the right hand down the pipe, clipping her on the chin or on the eyeball. Her eyes started swelling in the, I want to say in the ninth round, but it just really paid good. She was doing real good work, and then she started tapping the body. She started tapping the body, like uppercuts, shovel uppercuts to the body. You dig in the pocket, man, and we started to see a lot of holding from Natasha Jonas. But the thing was, it was so razor thin. Like just the rounds that Michaela Mayer was winning, I think were more competitive rounds than the rounds that Natasha Jonas was winning. I think with Michaela Mayer, like she was, a lot of people wasn't catching it, but she was eating a lot of shots coming in. She was eating a lot of hooks coming in, a lot of jabs coming in. She was eating a lot of them, and then the body work as well. They did. I feel like that Natasha Jonas arguably won. You could make an argument that the rounds that they were given that Michaela Mayer was winning, even in my eyes, you can make an argument that Natasha Jonas was winning those rounds because she was doing a lot of good work, a lot of good body work, a lot of good counter punching. Damn, she fine. A lot of good counter punching coming in, getting met on the entry. You did getting stopped at the front door. You did catching and shooting. Natasha Jonas was doing a lot of good work early on in the fight, and even later on in the fight, she was doing good work. But just the pressure started to become too insurmountable, and Michaela got into a rhythm, and she started landing some big shots. And I personally think Michaela did win that fight. I'm gonna be real, bro. I do think Michaela Mayer won that fight. I don't. Do I want to say robbery? I don't know because I can see why somebody was. I will. The thing is on the ESPN, I don't have cable no more. I got the app. I didn't see the You did like after the fight was over, they cut it off, so they didn't even get to the point where they made the. Go ahead. They didn't even get to the point where they made the announcement. Before they cut it off, they just cut it off. I'm like, damn. And then I get online and I'm seeing, Michaela Mayer got robbed. Michaela Mayer got robbed. So I didn't hear the scorecards. Maybe it was some home cooking, but I can see why somebody would give those earlier rounds to Natasha Jonas. I could see that. I could definitely see that because she was doing good work on it. Yo, somebody just got their motherfucking car door open. Like Michaela Mayer was doing good work early on, but a lot of that shit was getting countered early on. But her pressure is what her pressure and I think the body shots as well. She don't she's so lengthy compared to all these other girls. She's able to clip them. She's able to clip them at a distance that they can't get to. You dig? So she started. I remember she was throwing them straight right hands. She was throwing them straight right hands to the body, and then that's another thing. She was falling in as well off of those shots. Tim Bradley kept saying that she's falling in. She's falling in. She's lunging forward. She's reaching. You digging the shots with they wasn't necessarily hitting the target, and she got countered a few times on those shots, man. And so I'm not necessarily like I could be a bit understanding as to why they would think that she won the earlier round. I get it, I get it, I get it. But me personally, I had Michaela. I had it about three. I had it knotted around three rounds apiece going into the seventh round. And I just think really I want to say in the eighth or the ninth round, I just seen Michaela Mayer really start to she started, she was a lot. She started getting sharper. Her energy was there. She started stepping to Natasha Jonas, backing her up. She was hurting her in the clinch and exchanges. She was trapping her, pinning her to the ropes, doing good work. And Natasha Jonas started, she started clinching, which is a smart thing to do. I'm not mad at people who clinch. I'm not mad at people, fighters who clinch. You dig? You got to do what it is that you got to do to win the fight or slow somebody's momentum down. That's a part of the game. Every fighter clinches. Every fighter clinches. It's a strategy, or for your benefit, you can slow somebody's momentum down so they don't get in the rhythm while you're in the rhythm. Floyd used to do that all the time. Klitschko did it all the time. 1-2, hold. 1-2, hold. But it's also it tells a story. You're either, in the, what you're doing is being effective, and it's building frustration out of the fighter, or you're being hurt, you're being overwhelmed. And you got to find a way to thwart what this motherfucker is doing so you can, try and regain your bearings. And that's what was happening with Natasha Jonas. That was the story that she was telling in that fight, down the stretch. I do think Michaela Mayer won that fight. I do. I gotta be real, and I just with her, cause I'm gonna be real. I thought the fucking Alicia Baumgardner fight was a draw. I thought that was a draw. Being real, being honest. You know, all due respect to my baby Alicia, I thought that fight was a draw. Michaela got busy. Michaela's a bad motherfucker, man. Y'all gonna stop playing with that girl, bro. That Valley girl, she get busy, bro. She gets busy. But I just felt down the stretch. She started doing better work. She landed a lot better than the straight shots was getting there, and the work downstairs to the body. I think that was the story of the fight, and it eventually got Natasha Jonas to the point where she was no longer bouncy, bro. She was planted. Her feet was planted. She looked sharp coming out the gate. Natasha Jonas was sharp coming out the gate. But just shit happens. But I don't want Michaela Meyer to be. I don't want her to get frustrated or whatever. I think I will get frustrated, but let it be good frustration. Like the next motherfucker I go in there with, I'm outlining in chalk, so I can't leave it in the judge's hands. Allow it to elevate her level of focus. That's what I would want for her. That's what I would want for her. Let it elevate her level of focus. Don't let it discourage you. Don't like how what's going on with Callum Smith that better BF loss. Don't let it discourage you like that to where you're contemplating retirement because you still got so much. She's young, bro. She's like 32 years old. She's like 32 years old. Natasha Jonas is 39. She's older than me. And look how sharp she looked in there. So I don't want her to get so frustrated that it sours her passion for the sport, and she hinders herself from going on and doing great things, bro. I want to see her back in action. I want to see her back in action, bro. Michaela Mayer she's the goods, man. And I personally think she won that fight, especially when you consider the fact that that was her introduction fight into the division, and everybody is saying that was a robbery. There's no reason for you to be frustrated. I remember her after the Alicia Baumgardner lost, bro. She didn't even interview. She walked right out of the ring, went to the locker room. I think she cried and everything. I don't want. It's not necessary for you to get discouraged off of this. I fucks with Michaela. She's dope. She's a beast. She's a problem. She's a motherfucking problem. So, by all means, you dig. I'm looking forward to seeing her again. Just like I'm looking forward to seeing Callum Smith again. So that's pretty much how I'm feeling about it, man. I'm back. I'm about to be back at the crib in the next few minutes. So I'm gonna ride in silence, man. And I'll get with y'all when I get with y'all. Y'all stay righteous, y'all. Deuces.